Good morning and happy wet Saturday here from Toronto. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just gonna get Elmira on. Hi everyone. Let me know where you're watching from. That's beautiful, awesome Saturday. A summer day it's supposed to be, but it's wet and rainy here. So let me know where you are joining from while I try to get... Oh, Ella, I see you. How are you doing? Just trying to get Elmira on. Oh, there she is. Ready to rock and roll. So welcome. This is the first in a series of IG lives that we're going to be doing.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How's it going today?
It's going. It's rainy, but it's still going.
I
I'll still take it. It's
think we
warm.
have the same. I think we have the same weather.
Yeah. I don't know. This summer is not summering, but
It's not summer.
but it's okay.
So it hasn't been that hot
Not
there or warm, or
really.
it's
Like
just been rainy.
it's just been raining. Reminds me of the UK weather. There's a reason why some of us left the UK, you know. But anyway, it's still warm, but it's just wet. That's all.
Yeah. I don't know if I would be able to deal with that much rain. It's like
Yeah. I
I like
hear
rain, but in
ya.
little increments.
I hear ya. Well, welcome everyone. So like I was saying, this is the first in a series of IG lives that we're going to be doing. This is in anticipation of our masterclass coming up in July. More about that later. But for today, the focus is really around embracing change and how to let go of past relationships. And I don't know about you. Before we move forward, okay, first of all, I'll tell you a bit about today and then we can do some introductions. So I know that we all kind of hope, a little bit delusional, a little bit fairy tale-y, where you think boy meets girl, boy likes girl, girl likes boy, happily ever after. Not true. The reality is at some point in our lives, we're all going to have to go through a heartbreak. We're all going to have to go through disappointments in relationships. Relationships are going to end, period. And so today's session is really around that sort of change. When you have such a huge change in your life, how can you not let that hold you back, and how can you move forward and thrive? So stay tuned, lots of nuggets to share today. Well, I'm Joan. If you're meeting me for the first time, I'm a dating and relationship coach, really focused on helping divorced women rediscover love and find their second chances at love. So I'm based out of Toronto, and I'll pass it over to Elmira to introduce herself.
Well, hi, I'm Elmira. I'm a self-care coach and I focus on helping you get over your ex. So this is right up my alley, like getting over the heartbreak, because there are positive ways to heal, positive ways to move on. I went, like you were saying, Joan, I went through my own breakup, and in the beginning it was like, this is not supposed to happen to me. And I learned some tools and techniques, and that's what I use to help my clients. And I'm here in Atlanta. I have a background in body work with massage therapy, so I understand how these emotions affect the body, the emotions of the heartbreak, the breakup, the divorce, whatever you had. And that's where I come from.
Awesome. So let us know where you're joining us from, and let us also know if you've gone through a heartbreak in the past, or if you're currently going through a heartbreak. We want to know who we're speaking to so that we make sure that we kind of answer some questions that you might have. And if you have any questions around getting over a heartbreak, what to do next, like Amara was saying, ask your questions in the comments and we'll try to address them as we go. So before we start talking about letting go and some of those tools and techniques that you can use, why is it so important to let go? And Elmira, I'll let you go first, and then I'll give my own perspective on why this is so key. You gotta let go.
Well, I think you got to let go because it's for your own good. It's for your own health. It's for your own safety. It's for it, and it allows you to invite in more of what you deserve. Because if you don't let, and I can say this from personal experience, like I held on like to my ex for like 7 years at some level. Yeah, at some level in the background, it was still playing in the background, like, oh, maybe y'all will get back together, all of this stuff. And that was not good. So for me, and it affected my health. And once I made the decision, like, okay, it's time for me to move on. It's time for me to be the best that I can be, take care of my body, take care of my heart, take care of, and start pursuing some things that I really want to do personally. You cannot move forward if you don't let go of the past. You just can't. And it shows up in your body. It could present itself as acne. It could show up as like different digestive
Mm-hmm.
symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
menstrual pain. That was one of the things for me. Like, yes.
Wow. And I think it's so key, when you mentioned that you held on to your ex for 7 years. I know some people might, and I initially I thought, wow, that's a long time. But the truth is, sometimes we don't even know that we're still holding on to the ex. We don't realize, because you're not actively talking about it. It doesn't mean that it's not right there in your head, ruminating, or you're hoping, you're checking him out, you're going on social media, stalking just to see, is he miserable or has he moved on? In some way, shape, or form, you're still holding on to the past. And it's like having this really heavy backpack and you're trying to run a marathon. Not gonna work. So most of the time you do need to let go. You need to release all of that for you to fully now be invested in moving forward your future. And I think it's this idea that no, people are more scared of losing than the joy of gaining. So it's like, oh, I don't want to lose what I had. Maybe if I just, there's something I could have, it's gone, it's done. Just let it go. If you really want to move forward, you can't keep constantly looking, you can't be constantly looking back. You have to not forget about the past. It did happen for a reason, and we'll talk about a little bit more about that. But you have to be willing to let it go so that you can fully focus on what you have ahead of you and really embrace that and throw yourself into that new experience. Throw yourself into the present and the future so that you can have and thrive the relationship that you're looking for.
And you know what? As you were talking about this, Joan, it brought back a memory when and this was like a couple years after my breakup. I ended up moving to a new city solo. And the thought that came to mind as I was driving, like literally this thought came to mind, was I was looking in my rearview mirror. I couldn't go back. Like I had to stay as I was driving on that highway. If I was going to get to Nashville, which was the new city I was moving to, I couldn't look in the rear view mirror to say, oh, what about the people back there? What about
Yeah.
my ex? What about my mom? Like that thought, when you're moving forward, you can't look in both places.
Yeah.
Like if I would have stayed my attention on the rear view mirror, there would have been an accident.
Mm-hmm.
Like there would have been a catastrophe. Like
Absolutely.
I had to stay facing forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So, maybe now we can move on. We can segue into how to really let go. What are some of the steps that maybe you've experienced, and I can share some of the experiences that I had on some steps to really let go. Because sometimes, like we said, you think you've let go, you think you've moved on, and I'll tell you what happened to me right after my divorce. And it happens to a lot of people, because a lot of women I go through the same problem, where you have a major breakup or you have a divorce and you think that the best way to heal is to find somebody new, like right now. Like
Yeah.
right now. Like it's like that is the worst way, because what only happens, and that's what happened to me, was Right after my divorce, I jumped into another relationship. Of course, that ended in a couple of weeks. Then I jumped into another relationship, even a bigger heartbreak than my marriage. Then another, like it was just this back to back. And I never really took the time to really heal. But if you had asked me, and everybody would say to me, oh my God, Joan's moved on. But had I really? No, I hadn't. Yes, I'd physically moved on to dating other people, but I hadn't really dealt with the pain and the grief and the healing process. So with that, let's talk about some of the steps that people who are listening and people who are watching, that they can start to take to get on this healing journey.
Well, I will share two. One of them is really confronting what happened in the relationship, writing it down, going through the motions, not staying there, because of course we don't want you to stay in the past, but taking responsibility for what was your part. Like, for example, I had to take responsibility. There were some communication issues on my part that led to the breakup. But really breaking down and saying what went, what happened here. It could be the beginning of the relationship, the middle of the relationship, the end of the relationship, identifying pieces and confronting it, being real with yourself. You can, and part of that is writing a letter about it. You can write a forgiveness letter. You don't even have to give it to anybody, but confronting those things, writing the forgiveness letter. And then secondly, you have to move. You will have to move your body in some way. Because there could be stuck emotions, anger, resentment, frustration,
Yeah.
all of these things going on. You have to get in something, whether it's amping up your already routine, your exercise routine. You may want to take a dance class or something, but I find that movement helps with the grief, because I saw it with my massage clients when they would come. Getting massages is a great way to move all of that, all of the issues from the breakup from your body. And I saw it with my clients when they would come in, how refreshed they would feel after getting the massage. And you could see the physical change in them after 3 sessions from the grief. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing what movement can do for not just hopping into another relationship, but
I know. I know. So I kind of love how you've summarized everything. That for me, that's also kind of my thought process when it comes to healing as well. And maybe I'll just kind of put it in different sections so it looks like steps. So the first thing that you said was really acknowledge and identify where you are, right? This did happen. You cannot just forget about it and try to wish it away. It happened, and you need to stay with those emotions. Don't die there, but just be with the emotions. Go through the grieving process. Really recognize that yes, you did go through this, right? Let it walk through you, not stay in you.
mhm.
And the second thing you've spoken about was really understanding what happened in the relationship, whether we like it or not. The truth is, we get into relationships, not necessarily only romantic, every relationship's in our life for a reason. So rather than just being in victim mode and beating yourself up, now is the time to really process what happened in the relationship, right? Where did things go right or wrong? What was my own role in all of this? And I hear people sometimes who say, it wasn't me, it was the other person. No, even if the only responsibility you want to take is for saying yes to dating that person, own that, right? We all had a role to play, but the better way is really to introspect and really figure out what you did, what was your own role in that relationship. And again, it's not about you now punishing yourself. I mean, oh, I'm so useless, I'm hopeless, nobody's going to want to be with me. No, it's just another learning. You're just learning more about yourself. Every relationship will teach you about yourself, about your needs, about your traumas, about the things that you don't want in your next relationship. It's really a learning process. So just embrace that moment and just learn the lessons. And then I think the third thing you spoke about was forgiveness. So being able to forgive yourself first, right? Forgiveness is more for you than for the other person. But it's also great if you can go beyond forgiving yourself to really forgive the other person. And I like what you said about you can write a letter, right? You can journal, but the letter thing really, really works. Just write a letter to your ex, but don't send it. Write it and then rip it up. So that's like the third step, really forgiving yourself and your partner. And then the last one that you talked about was movement. And I know that for a lot of people, when they go through a heartbreak or a breakup, the default is, I just want to stay in bed and eat ice cream and watch
Oh,
Netflix.
yeah.
That's what
Mm-hmm.
not to do. So you need to move in one way or the other. You need to move. And it's not just romantic relationship. Anything that goes wrong in your life, the knee-jerk reaction really is just to stay in bed. I don't feel like doing anything. I'm not motivated. That's exactly what not to do. So make sure you're moving in one way or the other. So anyway, so those are the 4 steps to go through healing, just summarized. And, regardless of where you are in the journey, know that it is a journey and it will look different for everybody. So just be kind to yourself, be patient, but make sure that you're actually pushing your way through this heartbreak and past relationships.
Yeah, I like what you just said about being kind because we can be the biggest critic of ourselves.
Yep.
That's why I'm so big on self care and self love because we'll say things as we're going through like you said, step one is acknowledgement. As we're going through the acknowledgement, we're not just saying the things as a blanket statement and being neutral.
Yeah.
We're blaming ourselves and saying, oh my gosh, look at me. Why did I date him anyway? Da, da, da. I knew better. No, this
Yeah.
is not the
Where the hell did I
time
see
to
that
be
one?
critical.
Yeah.
This is not the time to be critical of yourself. Be kind, compassionate, and just state it as it is. Just state, okay, I saw that red flag. I ignored it. What did that say about me? Use that as a time. But yeah, the kindness goes a long way.
It does. It does. Okay. So that's just a little bit, a snippet of what you can learn more in our masterclass. So if you're in a relationship and you're struggling, if you've just gone through a heartbreak, you've gone through a divorce, you're ready to find love, you're ready to move forward with your life, you're ready to put the past all behind, all that baggage, just let go of that backpack. You're ready to take your love life to the next level and really be able to attract the person that you truly desire, because we all deserve that kind of love. We all deserve to feel respected, loved, supported, safe. We need all of that stuff, and that's why we're hosting a masterclass July 20th. I'm going to put the registration link in the comments because I don't know how else to do it, but I'm going to put it in the comments. So go ahead and register if you're really tired of the repeating patterns, you're tired of all the heartbreak, you want to be done with that, you really want to find true love and move forward, then you want to register for the masterclass. It's called Get Out of Your Own Way, because the truth is, most of the time, we're the ones in our own way, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously. We are in the way of the future and the love that we truly desire. So I'm going to post the link in the comment section. So go ahead and register. It's happening live on the 20th of July.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yay,
I
me
really
too.
am. Just, yeah, to me, it's a great opportunity to share our stories, share what worked for us, and give people practical strategies for how they can move forward, how they can attract the love they deserve.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Absolutely.
it's going to be amazing. So y'all
It'll
come,
be
y'all come.
amazing. It's gonna be amazing. So, well, any final words before we wrap today's up? And again, like I said, this is going to be happening every Saturday for the next 3 weeks. It's just a snippet into what you can expect in our masterclass. So, any final words for people?
Final word, I will just say today is Saturday. If it's a great day to start on some of the implementing some of these things we talked about. Just start with one of them. If you're in that space and you're like, I've been putting it off, because I know I do that too. I procrastinate and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'll get to that. But you've been meaning to write that forgiveness letter, for example. It's a great day to do it.
Absolutely. And what you said about movement as well. Get moving. It doesn't matter if your heart is not there yet, your head is not there yet. Just get moving. As you take that physical action, you will find that things will start to shift in yourself. So again, look, that you went through a heartbreak, you went through a divorce, does not mean that it's all over. It's never game over. Even if you're 99 years old and you have one day to live, it's not over. You deserve to have the kind of love that you truly desire, and it is available. I wish I could say do nothing and it just happens. I wish I could say time heals everything. Time heals absolutely nothing if you do nothing. If you want a different result, then you need to make the right changes so that you can have the outcome that you truly deserve and desire. So looking forward to seeing all of you at the masterclass. Go register. I don't want to hear anybody single by the end of this year. Register for the
Well,
masterclass and come and learn the 5 steps to attract your dream man in 2024. Well, that's it from us. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be here same time next week, Saturday, for just another snippet into the masterclass, Get Out of Your Own Way.
bye, everybody.
All right. Thanks for joining. See you all soon.